Okay.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Ms. Tamika, Merry Christmas to you.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
thank you for tearing yourself away from the hundreds of people in your living room. Sanaya, welcome back to the United States and back to New
Thank you.
Jersey. You're a world traveler. Michelle Singletary, what an honor to have you tonight. You are in Prince George's County, Maryland.
That's right.
Good, good. Well, everyone, this is my hero. She's my leader. She's my inspiration. She's my partner in ministry. She is the columnist from the Washington Post. She's a best-selling author, and she's passionate about helping families become financially free based on biblical principles. She's not just giving you gimmicks and games. She's teaching biblical principles. She's a member of the First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, where my friend John Jenkins is the pastor. Michelle, welcome to the monthly D-Free live webinar, which is recorded and also promoted after we get off the air.
Oh, I'm so honored, Pastor. I'm such a fan. I'm like a little groupie.
Oh,
So
please.
I'm honored. I love the work that you've been doing with D Free. And I think together this is going to be an amazing, amazing accomplishment. And just, as a way of introduction, just let everyone know this isn't just about getting stuff. Uh,
Right.
for us, it's always been about the freedom really comes with being able to do the things that you say you value. As Christians, we say we want to give back to the kingdom. We want to send our kids to school debt free. We want to pay off our mortgage. We want to help people. We want to give more. But when we look at how we handle our money, none of that is at the top. None of it. I mean, MasterCard is at the top.
Right.
I mean, we just finished. I don't know how many people are going to be on. The big, I heard somebody joke that, Christmas is not your birthday, and yet that's how we spend it. Uh, and, right now there are people probably at the mall who should be listening to this
Right.
because of all the things that we do with our money that really is not traced back to the things that we say we value.
Well, we're bombarded by messages all the time. Some are explicit, TV commercials, radio ads, magazine ads. Some are implicit, meaning we can't see them with our eyes, but they're out there. We're being asked to spend money
Right.
all the time. We're being asked to borrow money all the time. I saw today that you retweeted one of the tweets that I sent out yesterday, where research shows that people who are making $100,000 a year more, 25% of them are still living paycheck to paycheck.
That's right,
So
right.
it's not really about how much money we make. It's like you say, it's what we do, how we control and manage the money that we do make. Tell us about this Washington Post. I'm always curious to know, how did you get connected to the Washington Post?
It's so interesting. I grew up in Baltimore and was working for the Baltimore paper and loved it. I mean, I was in my hometown working for the hometown paper near my grandmother who raised me, who has since passed. So I was just in monkey heaven. And then, a paper started going through some ownership changes, and I went to a convention for black journalists. And I was on a panel about covering business because I covered business for the Evening Sun and loved it. In fact, I ended up in the business section because I was covering religion and
Wow.
I was doing stories on how much churches were getting into economic development. The
Hmm.
business editor saw all of these stories and said, "You need to come over to the business section."
Yeah.
Now, before, now being a personal finance is like a big thing, but back then, that's where they sent you when they were ready to get rid of you.
Graveyard.
They said, "Come to the business section." I was like, "What are you trying to get rid of me?" And so she
Goodness.
said, "No, I'm trying to change the image that personal finance business, that this is ought to be where people are. This is where the happenings are." So, fast forward to this convention. I'm on a panel, and I'm a little crazy. Pastor knows this, so I have a good sense of humor. And so I was trying to explain to people what it was like to cover bankruptcy court. And I loved bankruptcy court because you get to see so much of what really people do with their money. So in this group of, hundreds of journalists, and I was on a panel with someone from the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, hear me, little me from Baltimore. I said, I want everybody to pull out your wallet. Female's purse, guy's wallet, and pass it to the person to the left of you. And everybody's like, "You must have lost your mind." I said, "That's what it's like to cover bankruptcy court." And everybody erupted and laughed. Well, little did I know that there was an editor from the Washington Post in the audience. And
Wow.
he loved Ed and me, and he chased me down the hall. It says, it was right around the time there were a lot of big business bankruptcies, including the Baltimore Orioles. And he wanted to find someone who had an expertise in it. And that's how I ended up at the Post.
So
Always in the business section. And then I get to the Post. Now, I'm this little humble person from Baltimore. And in Washington, there's this big thing about doing lunch. So they go to lunch every day at restaurants. These people crazy. I'm bringing my little bag lunch to the Post,
Right.
People from, brand name schools and stuff, and I'm from little Baltimore, and I'm eating lunch at my desk, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy, and I kept telling all those stories about my grandmother and Big Mama and saving money, and I said, all y'all think you're making all this money, but I'm not going to lunch every day. Y'all crazy. So one of my editors said, listen, you tell all these stories about your grandmother. You need to write a column about this. And that's how it all started. I wrote a column. This is way back before email. We got bags and bags of letters from regular readers who were like, wow, thank you for writing simply about money. They could not believe it. And a year later, I had a full-time column.
Wow.
That's a long way to talk about it.
You're doing now 3 columns a week.
Right, I write twice a week a column, and then I have a weekly newsletter that's sort of a roundup of personal finance stories. But basically, you're right, and it's syndicated. My columns, which are syndicated by the Washington Post, are in about 100 newspapers across the country.
Wow, I read everything you write, and it's always inspiring. It's very informative, and although it has an African American perspective, it is not a black column.
Right, that's right. That's right.
You keep a real good balance. It's important for black people, but it's not limited in its relevance to black people.
And I try to do that. I try to keep the flavor of my culture. In fact, I have to tell you, this is so funny, Pastor. So the copy editor called me the other day. I did a column about people giving their testimonies. And so she says, well, did you mean to use the word testimony? Because it really is testimony.
Right.
And I said, girl, I'm from a Southern Baptist church. We say testimony.
Right.
And so she said, okay. So, I bring my culture, and I bring a lot of religion into my columns.
I see that.
Left and right. And I don't care, because that's what I believe. And if people have an issue with it, well, that's why they call it a column.
Well, again, it resonates with African Americans.
Yes.
And it's the larger culture recognizes the relevance of Scripture, even those that don't embrace Scripture. So it's certainly appropriate. If you were quoting Hinduism or quoting Socrates, no one would argue with you.
No one would say a word.
I respect that about you, and just admire what you do. Now, before we get to your fast, talk about your role at the church, because not only are you a nationally syndicated columnist, you go to church every Sunday, and you're active in this ministry at your church.
That's right. Yeah, my husband and I, many years ago, made the commitment as a family to go every Sunday. Even when we travel on vacation, I look for a church for us to attend while we're on vacation. Attended a church on the Hawaiian Beach one year. So we've been a member of First Baptist Church in Glenarden under Pastor Jenkins for, like 15 years. Wow. And when I first started going there, the pastor's wife asked me to speak at the Women's Fellowship. And from that developed this ministry, Prosperity Partners Ministry. And it's a 10-month program where people start in January to December. We take off August and another month. And we basically do financial workshops once a month. It's almost like half the morning. But the unique part about the program is that we match people with like money mentors. So people can walk along with you to help you. And we've had people in like Target, shopping, and they will call their mentor like, look, I know I shouldn't be here. What should I do? Help me. Because it's sort of modeled after AA.
Right.
Because we want people to have someone they can call and to rely on. Because this is going to be a long journey. There are a lot of financial programs that are a couple weeks and things like that. But Pastor, it takes a while for people to change their financial behavior.
Oh, yeah. Because it starts with their mentality.
Absolutely. And that's what we spend most of the time. I spend most of the time talking and fussing and having people talk about where this stuff comes from. Why do you overspend? Why do you not merge in your money with your honey, your husband or your wife, and things like that. And so, at the beginning of the year, we have, almost 200 people who come through. Now, by the end of the year, half of them gone because they don't want to do the work. But nonetheless, we have really solid numbers. And my husband is the assistant director, and it is a labor of love for us. In fact, about 5 years ago, we started taking it into the prisons. So he and I co-teach classes for inmates who are about to be released.
Wow,
so we take a little mini part of the program to the prisons to help them manage the money that they'll get, hopefully, if they get a job.
Yeah, when we developed our D-free strategy, it was in large measure based on the buddy system. Tamika actually teaches D-free at First Baptist in Lincoln Gardens.
Wow.
And I was impressed with the AA type buddy system model because I read the book by Juliet Schor from Harvard called The Overspend American.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, she described why we overspend. She talked about the psychological factors. But she also mentioned at the end that if we were to really address this issue, it would be in small, what she called reference groups, where really peer-to-peer, positive peer pressure, as it were, where people affirm each other. And so, for instance, today at First Baptist is D3 Sunday, and every month we stop all of our services to give people a chance to give their testimonies.
Oh, that's
because when a couple of thousand people hear that Miss Jones paid off her car and still drives it, it inspires other people in the congregation to believe that if Miss Jones could do it, they could do it.
That's right.
So Prosperity's Partners, D-Free, that whole each one serve one philosophy is what's going to get us there, one family at a time. How did you come to this 21-day fast? Because you've been to our women's retreat. The women loved you, and we've asked you to come back to First Baptist to do something we've never done before. We've never had someone of your stature come to launch our financial movement for the year. We've been doing this 10 years.
Wow.
But I've been so impressed by the depth of your passion and your strategy. I wanted to bring it to be a part of our overall D-Free movement at First Baptist and share it with our churches around the country that will log in by webinar and stream you live that Saturday.
Right. I'm so honored, and I'm so thrilled. So actually, I came up with the idea about this time, about, 7 years ago. Every year at the beginning of the year, various ministries at my church do the Daniel fast.
Right.
So we're gearing up to do it again. And I had never done the Daniel fast, and basically, for those who don't know, the Daniel fast is after the prophet Daniel, so where he only ate fresh vegetables and fruit and nuts, no sweets, no meats, and anything for basically 3 weeks to sort of cleanse himself, but also show to be a prayer to God and so forth. So it's like a traditional food fast. A spiritual fast. So I'm going through the fast, and I'm telling you, I was struggling. I wanted some sleep. I was just, but I noticed how cutting things out made me focus on, first of all, what I was eating, and just what God wants us to do with this temple. Right. And I thought, well, I wonder, what if we shut people down from shopping? What if we shut them down from using plastic? Would they have the same effect, like the withdrawals at first, but at the end, if you ever done a Daniel fast, you do feel healthier. Your skin is better. And one of the side effects is you lose weight. That's not why you do it, but you just get a better, healthier self. And I thought, well, wonder if we could do that with money. So let me try this out. So, I tried it out with the ministry. So for 21 days, you can't buy anything that's not a necessity. And you can only buy, like food. And when I say food, not the kind of grocery shopping that a lot of us do. We go in there with 5 things on our list and come out with 20 bags of groceries.
Right.
10 of them which will end in the trash. And then cut out plastic. Because we are a nation addicted to credit and debt.
Amen.
I mean, it is unbelievable. If you tell people they can buy a car with a cash, they look at you like you crazy.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it.
You can buy a car without debt.
Right.
And so I tested it out with the ministry, and I'm telling you, the testimonies were out through the roof. First of all, people never realized how much they were spending in that short period of time. Right. The way we are consumed with shopping, and how we just buy stuff and don't even realize it.
Right.
And so people were getting out of debt. Marriages were actually healed because people were starting to talk about money. And I remember one of my friends telling me that it made her start to think about what she did with her money.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted you in January, because the whole D-Free philosophy starts by people following their money.
Right.
You know, your money goes where you take it, but people of meager means and people of significant means spend money without realizing how much they're spending.
Absolutely.
So you're coming to New Jersey on January the 9th. Hopefully you can come the night before. Your husband can come, stay in a hotel, relax for a night. But what can we expect? Don't tell us what you're going to tell us, but give us some sense of expectation so we can let people know exactly what they can expect to experience on January the 9th.
You know, I love to laugh, so you're gonna be laughing a lot at
Good.
yourself, at your neighbor, but really I hope to energize you about
Good.
this personal finance thing. I'm all about values, and I want you to have what you truly want in life. What God wants us to prosper, but not the kind of prosperity that a lot of us think about with homes and cars and things like that. But, you know, I want people to feel this control that you can have over your money, because we all work really hard, but we only have a limited amount of money. Even very rich people have a limited amount of money.
That's right.
I always tell people, how can you go broke on $200 million? You spent $201 million.
That's Allen Iverson. That's right.
Right. And so we think, well, if we just get another raise, if we hit the lotto, if somebody die and leave us some money, that we'll be that much better. But no, you won't, because if you don't do well with the money you have now, getting more money, you're just going to have more expensive problems. And so I want people to come away, first of all, convicted. Because I'm going to convict you. I have a joke. I'll ask the audience, the parishioners when I come, you know, I've never been in the military, but my brother-in-law was and my father-in-law was. And so I understand that when you're a junior officer and you want to speak candidly with your superior, you ask them something like, well, can I speak candidly or can I be frank? Because basically you're asking permission to like really get in their face without getting smacked down. So I'm going to ask them, can I, do I have your permission to speak candidly? Because I want people to feel a little uncomfortable, because, we don't really change until we get uncomfortable.
That's right.
Because when you got to get uncomfortable. But then I'm going to bring it around and show you the things that you can do with your money. That your child can walk across the stage at college and be debt free. You can walk in a dealership and go, I want that car right there, and here's the cash. I want you to be able to tithe and not be like, well, I got to bill this month. The church going to understand. God don't understand that. That's his money. I want you to be able to give and give generously, not just to the church, but the people in your community. If you've got somebody unemployed in your family, there's no reason why you can't call them up and say, you know what, I got your electric bill till you get your job. Right? I mean, that's what this is about, right? Just leaving a legacy, a financial legacy. We're so much in consumption that we're not leaving anybody anything.
I can't wait until January 9th. Now, so now, before we went live, I had a question. She thought that we were going to meet every day for 21 days. We were going to teach us something. How did these 21 days unfold? Once we buy into the process, we're motivated, energized. What are you going to challenge us to do for those 21 days?
So, can y'all see the book? Here's the book. So basically, you get the book and you follow the fast and you read one chapter a day. It takes you about maybe at the most any one day 20 minutes. And every day there's an exercise. And so every day of the fast there's a topic. So one day we talk about budgeting, we talk about tithing, talk about co-signing, how crazy that is. And so every day there's a different financial topic that builds you up to the point at which you got this money thing. Because it's like little bitty bites. And in fact, I have a series of videos that I'll make sure that you guys get that you can send out every day. And they're just really short, like 3 minutes or less of encouragement. So every day I talk about the topic for that day and how to get through with it. Most days you can do all the work in one day. like I think day 7 is the one about budgeting, because that's the tough one. Man,
Right.
people not like to budget. And that might take you a little while, but
Right.
everything else is just like let's handle this thing. Let's be educated about our money.
Good.
It just hardens me when people go, oh, I can't understand that money thing. Oh yes you can. Oh yes you can. You got this. And
Good.
so every day there's a different topic and a challenge. At the
Good.
end of it, there's a lesson. There's something that I ask you to do to try to get yourself right with your money. And it's all biblically based. There's scripture all along the way to back this up.
So what we're going to do, first of all, the First Baptist, we'll have the books there, and people will buy the books. We'll also create links to your website, to Amazon, for our churches around the country to download the books. We're asking all D-free churches in the country to buy your book and go through the process. Precede the whole D-free strategy with this. This is really the launch of the D-free strategy nationally for 2016.
Right.
We'll send out those videos. We'll put them on the D-free website. We'll distribute them widely. And then what we're going to try to do with you as best we can, because we know how busy you are, we're going to visit 4 or 5 cities around the country and do regional D3 conferences. And we've got to get you on as many of those stages as we can, because people need to hear you, they need to see you, they need to experience you, they need to buy the book. For those who are watching right now, you can download the book from Amazon today. You can get ready, you can read it, and then meet the author, and then read it again. Most books like these require reading more than one time.
That's right.
This is not like poetry. You know, this is real life-changing stuff. And the life that you change will be your own. And
That's
so
right.
we're going to take a clip of you explaining this from this webinar. We're going to email it out, tweet it out. We're going to push it out to not only our members but our churches around the country. Right now, Michelle, we are connected to, on some level of interest, about 500 churches around the country. We're partnering with the AME denomination, National Baptist USA, National Baptist of America, Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. I mean, I'm preaching for all of these conventions, but on the condition that they follow up and actually help people become financially free.
That's right.
I'm not just running around the country. I don't need a microphone and an audience.
Right.
What I need to know is that I am connected to leaders who are connected to people attempting to do exactly what you say.
Right.
So listen, I can't thank you enough for your willingness to come. I can't tell you how excited we are. Ms. Tamika, do you have any questions for Sister Singletary?
We did get one request for you to hold up the book again. I sent out the link. Yeah, I sent out the link for people to get it from your website if they want to get started. And we also got a small commercial from one of our webinar participants who said they participated in your 21-day financial fast, and it was absolutely great, and they recommend it. So we're excited.
Wonderful. Good. Ms. Anaya, any questions?
So, in case if you don't have them, let me tell you one of the questions I get all the time is what can you do and what you can't do. So, you know, even with the Daniel fast, people are like, what can I eat? What can I not eat? You know, they want to get real technical, and then some people try to prepay stuff.
Buy gift cards and get started early.
A woman prepaid her hairdresser, so she
so that it doesn't happen during the 21 days.
Don't
Lord.
go shopping between now and January 9th. Whatever you have, you have.
Only us.
Right. People like try. Well, I'm gonna get all the shopping in before the fast.
Charge up the card and then be stuck because you can't spend any money anywhere. Yeah.
Right. And then they say, well, can I get people to take me out to eat?
No,
exactly. No. And, you know, really don't go out to eat. And even if you got, okay, I got gift cards, can I go out to eat? So
No.
the spirit of the fast is to remove you
Right.
from places and things of spending.
That's right.
And so don't window shop, don't go online, you know, no, don't get your hair done. And I don't, you know, I know there are a lot of hairdressers like, oh
For
my
21 days, listen, I will exempt some people. They need to get their hair done. Don't come to church with that old ugly hair. So get your hair
he will
done.
talk about you. Yes.
I will pay for it.
Yes. Clear your cookies on your computer so those boots don't sneak up on your Facebook page every day.
Right.
Just go ahead and clear the
One
cookies. Clear the
days.
cookies so you don't have to
That's
sleep.
right.
Get
Well,
yourself
what I
a
tell
wig.
people it's just like the Daniel fast. You know your spirit, and then I always say your gut tells you, because the gut is God.
Right.
Like if you really think you should do it, then you shouldn't do it. And really, the fast is really it's not just about not shopping, because a lot of people will want to do the fast and not get the book and not follow the stuff, because that's not what this is about. It's not just to stop shopping. It's really for you to get a good sense of, where's your money? No, first of all, to appreciate what God has given you at every income level. But also to at the end of the day, because we all work so hard, I believe most of us just work really hard. Don't you want your resources to go to the stuff that truly matters to you? Like for real, right?
That's
right.
Like
I'm not a big car person. And if that's your thing, that's okay. I'm not one of these financial persons that would say, oh, you need to not go to Starbucks, you could be a millionaire. First of all, the math don't even work like that. But secondly, listen, after the fast, if you realize, hey, I like that really nice premium coffee in the morning, because if I don't have it, I'm going to show up at work and hurt somebody, right? I don't want you to be slapping your coworkers. So get that expensive coffee. That's what gets you going, right? If getting your nails done is the 1 hour of your week that keeps you sane because you got crazy kids, get your nails done. I know when I go to the hairdresser, the whole time I'm like this, because I'm so tired otherwise that I just fall asleep, and it's very relaxing. So you might, after the fast, say, those are the things that matter to me, right? Or I really want to send my kids to school without any debt. I've wanted to tithe for so long, but I didn't think I could afford to. Because, see, that's what this is about. That's what D-Free is about. That you figure out what's truly important to you, and that's where you spend your money, and everything else gets to go. Because right now we bought all these presents for all the stuff. Half the stuff people gonna forget, right? But your kids will not forget that you pay for them to go to school, right? That's right. Your relative who was out of work is not gonna forget that you got them on their utilities bills so their lights won't be turned out, right? The seniors in your church who need groceries that nobody takes them, they're not gonna forget that, right? So when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to be thinking about the toys that you didn't get or the iPad that you didn't get. You're going to be thinking about the things that people did in your life to make a true difference. That's what this is all about.
That's right. Listen, Michelle Singletary, the one and only Michelle Singletary, Washington Post financial activist, child of God, leader at First Baptist Church Menarden. I can't tell you how excited we are about your coming. We'll be in touch with you because we want to do this the right way. We want to launch the right way. We want to do with your material and content the same way we want churches to use our content, the right way. And we're going to promote it. We're going to be excited about it. But mostly, we're going to begin praying for people right now who need to surrender their lifestyle to a new lifestyle. This is a lifestyle change.
That's right.
The Bible says that anyone who's in Christ is a new creation.
That's right.
And the newness of life is spiritual, it's intellectual, it's physical, it's financial. And so to all of our members at First Baptist, all of our D3 partners around the country, get ready. There's a prophet coming to town January 9th. She's going to lead us into a launch for financial freedom in a way that we have never experienced before. And as my good friend in New Orleans, Bishop Love says, and it will change your life forever. Thank you so much, Sister Michelle.
Give us the title of the book one more time. Sorry.
One more time.
Sure. Here you go.
You gotta say it.
You can get it online, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. In fact, I think it's on sale. You can download it. You know what? Even go to your public library. I'm okay with that. You know, if you can't afford the book and they have one in your library, go to the library. Because listen, I'm good. I got my money. I got my man. He got a good job. I'm good. You know, if you can't afford the book. Yeah, well, but just get it, because I think, don't try to do this without the resources, right? We always be trying to slick and slide and do stuff and not do it.
Yes, make the investment. Make the commitment.
Yeah, do it right. Even if you've got to share it with someone.
Can you read the title of the book? Because some people aren't in the chat, so they just want you to read the title of the book. Yeah.
So it's the 21-day financial fast Your Path to Financial Peace and Freedom.
Wonderful.
And if you didn't write this down, you can't remember, just type in the 21-day financial fast,
Right.
And you will come up with all kinds of links of information about it and videos, and it'll be easy for you to find. So
We're
it's a
all over this.
21-day
We're all
financial
over this.
fast.
We're going to start January with communion on first Sunday, and then we're diving right into financial fast.
Wonderful.
Michelle, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank
you and
you.
your family. Have a marvelous new year. Tell Pastor Jenkins I said hello.
I sure will. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank
wonderful.
you, Michelle.
God bless you. Thank you, dear. All right. Listen, I'll tell you this, ladies, we are in for a marvelous year. This woman can talk. She's funny. She's well informed. She's passionate. But mostly she's authentic. She's real. And I just can't wait. We've got to do everything we can to get not only our church members in the place, but we also have to connect with all of our churches around the country. We have a growing list of churches, and I want to talk to you about that because a lot has happened since I've talked to the two of you together. And we want to get as many churches in the country as we can. Now, y'all can go to the library to get her book, but buy mine.
I love it.
I don't have a husband, so buy my book, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. I like Amazon better than Barnes and Noble. My book is now called Say Yes to No Debt. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. The original title was D-Free, Breaking Free from Financial Slavery. We've updated the book. We've updated statistics. We got a prettier cover. We have new endorsements from T.D. Jakes, from Bernice King, from Stedman Graham, and the workbook has been updated also. And so we have a new initiative to sell the new edition. If you have the old book, it's fine. You don't need to buy the new book if you have the old book, unless you just want to. The content, the process, the principles are the same. But we updated some of the statistics, some of the data, to make sure that we're dealing with fresh new data, which is just as depressing as the old data, but at least it's new and depressing. But what has happened, I don't know if either of you know this, since I talked to both of you last, we are meeting with and presenting to the leadership of the African Methodist Episcopal Church in 2 weeks at their national conference. Their bishops, their leading pastors, their presiding elders. I'm going there to speak to them Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, first week in January. And the African Methodist Episcopal Church is committed to implementing D-Free in as many churches as they can. I have a goal for the number of churches, but that's a marvelous development. The Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, led by Bishop Charles Ellis, is inviting us to come to their national convention to teach D-Free. The National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated is meeting in Birmingham, Alabama. I'll be presenting D-Free there again. The president called me last week and said to me, as long as he is president of the National Baptist Convention, D-Free will be central to his leadership and will be presented every time they meet. We have an invitation to the other National Baptist Convention, the National Baptist Convention of America Incorporated. We're going there to Little Rock, Arkansas to present to them. They are launching D-Free at their national convention. We also are connected to, as you know, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and their interest in D-Free is growing. We have conversations that have begun with the Churches of God in Christ under Bishop Blake in California. We have the Global United Fellowship led by Bishop Neil Ellis in the Bahamas, and we're launching D-Free in the Bahamas the last weekend the fourth weekend in January. No, Tamika, you cannot go to the Bahamas. You go back to
I already bought a ticket. Going down. I put that on my list before the fast.
That's during the fast, and you'll be fasting during those days. The interest is growing. The momentum is growing. Our partnership with Prudential is expanding. We met with Prudential last week. and they are identifying more and more financial advisors to come with us to offer free financial services. And I just can't tell you how excited I am about 2016, despite the fact that I thought seriously about folding up my tent and retiring from this work in 2015. The doors are opening. The responses are tremendous. The Monday morning meditations for financial freedom will begin on the first Monday in January. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am to the two of you for all the hard work you've done on D3 this year. Tamika, you've been training people and giving people launch strategies. And Sanaya, you've kept us online and live, not only through the D3 website, but the $1 Billion Challenge website. So, ladies, thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. This has been a great year. Great year.
Great year.
We have about
Is there
77 people online. Say hi to them.
Hey, everybody.
Talking to them, but it's a lot.
Oh, can I tell you this? Welcome, everybody, tonight. Listen, tomorrow, I am re-recording the D3 Academy course so that people can go through the entire book and workbook online live. Now, here's what happened. When we started the recording process back in the summer, and we had technical difficulties, and even though it's going to be free, we wanted to make sure that our presentation was excellent. The sound, the lighting, everything. And so we're going back into the studio tomorrow. Do you know, Tamika, Sanaya knows this because she told me, but all of the people who are online right now, 200 people have gone to the D3 website to pre-register for the live online course. 200. Now my goal for 2016 is 1,000 people. Tomorrow, from the studio, we will be emailing and tweeting photographs and clips of the recording that we're doing. We'll be in the studio all day, from 10 o'clock tomorrow morning until we're done. We're going to record 36 videos, and those 36 videos will be assigned to each step in the process, 12 steps, 3 videos per step. And at the end of that process, our producer will work with Sanaya to pull it together so that you can go through the entire D3 class in the privacy of your home, in your bedroom, while you're on a plane, wherever you are. If you have not signed up, if you're online now and you have not signed up for the course, sign up tonight, because tomorrow you'll begin getting information, how to get started, videos, and within the next few weeks, we will put together the videos, the fillable PDF forms that you can actually take notes online, and you can start your road towards financial freedom live, online, in the privacy of your home or wherever you are. So go to myd3.org right now, and you'll see a banner at the top. It says pre-register for the D3 Academy online course. It's free. So just pre-register so that starting tomorrow, you can get the updates and be prepared early 2016 to go through the entire D3 process. What is the process? Step 1 is get started. How do you get started, whatever your income level is? How do you get started on this road to financial freedom? We think the key to financial freedom starts with getting out of debt. But the key to getting out of debt is to realize some things about how much debt you're in. So you'll hear about that. That's level 1. Level 2 is get control. You heard Michelle talk about getting control, stopping your spending leaks. When I was with Bishop Love 2 weeks ago in New Orleans, we were meeting with his staff around the table on Wednesday morning. And while we were in the meeting, Bishop Love got on his laptop, logged into his cable company, and discovered that he was spending $93 a month more than he should have. While we were in the meeting talking about how his church can launch D3, he literally changed his cable plan, saved himself $93 a month. That's over $1,100 a year. And he's the bishop that has been urging his members to not watch as much television, and discovered that he was paying for more television than he needed to. We're going to help you get control. That's what we mean by getting control. You can give yourself a raise if you take control of the money that you have. Then how to get ahead. one of the keys to D-Free is that it does not end with getting out of debt. It begins with getting out of debt. But once you get out of debt, you still need more money. I don't care how well you budget, how well you save, how much you tithe, you need more money. And in the economy that we're in, with the options that we have, we want to help you dream and envision strategies to make more money. Now, once you're in control of your money, you can make more money. And so by getting ahead, we're talking about expanding your income. By getting ahead, we're talking about protecting your assets. By getting ahead, we're talking about investing so that you can go from debt to dividends. And then level 4 is give back. Give back of your time. Give back by teaching and motivating other people to become D-Free. Give back by opposing predatory lending. We're doing a national petition drive to help curtail the power and influence of payday lending. I'm going to Birmingham, where we're actually going to picket payday loan stores and stores that give car title loans at predatory interest rates. And so the whole package includes focusing first on yourself, but culminating with an emphasis on serving other people, because we believe that true freedom is helping other people become free. So this is tomorrow. But if you sign up tonight, pre-register for the course, we can begin sending you your updates tomorrow. We were hoping to launch this course early this year, but God's timing is perfect. It'll be a 2016 early release. You'll be able to walk through, take notes, look at videos, hear my explanation, hear my confessions of all of my financial sins, and then make concrete decisions and take concrete steps for yourself. So go to mydfree.org. If you're there already, there's a way to sign up, pre-register. What you're doing is you're signing up now to make sure that when the course is ready, you're the first one to get an email and say, go ahead and get started. We're going to have forms for you to fill out so that you can give testimonies anonymously about your progress. We're going to have an updated and expanded $1 Billion Challenge website so that you can set your debt reduction goals and get reminders on paying your bills on time. It's going to be a great year. 2016 is going to be the most exciting year of my ministry and my life and my career, and I'm hoping that all of you will join us. So Sanaya, I hope you're ready for 2016. I know you've got a lot of clients and you're big and you're global and you're going places, but don't forget about your little D3
Please don't leave us. Please don't leave us.
How could I do?
We need you.
We'll talk about that later. and Tamika, let me say this, Tamika. I'll say it to you in expanded form after this is over. But we need a handful of churches, of the churches that you've trained and the people that you've connected with. We need a handful of churches that are going to work together in 2016 to experiment with and test some of the things we want to roll out in 2017. And so I don't know what we're going to call these churches, but I need 12 churches that will work directly with you, that will assign someone to talk to you so that we can see what it looks like when a church does the whole package,
Right.
the $1 Billion Challenge, the success measures evaluation tool, the 21-day fast, the monthly seminars, all of that. We need just 12 churches. We have a lot of churches around the country doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We need 12 churches that are going to say, I'll be one of those 12 churches. Now, the Church of Love in New Orleans has already said we'll be one. First Baptist will be 2. Now we need 10 more churches. Ivy Baptist Church, First Baptist
Greater
Church.
Travelers Rest. I'm taking Sabrina's
Greater
church.
Travelers in Atlanta. You have got to identify at least 12. Now, if 13 want to come, that's fine. But I need 12 churches. If you're online now, if you represent a church, send Tamika an email right now and say, count us in. We want to be one of the 12 churches that perfect the entire comprehensive strategy called D-Free. And what we learn, we're going to pull together. We're going to document the process. We're going to publish the results so that by 2017, any church in the world that wants to replicate the process will have all the best practices, all the best ideas, all the best energy, all the best resources that come from those 12 churches. Okay?
I got it.
All right, good.
Before you go, I just
Sanaya?
want to say one thing about a comment we got in the chat. So if you got the email for the webinar, that does not mean that you're registered for the online academy, because we want to make sure we're sending you the information you actually signed up for. So go to mydefree.org, and there's a red bar at the top. Click on that and register for that, and that's how you'll get pre-registered for the academy.
Right. And then once you do that, my friend, please send it out, put it on Facebook, send it to your Twitter followers, put it on Instagram. Let people know that you have pre-registered for the free D-Free online course, and you want to encourage them to do the same. And if they have questions, they can go to our YouTube page. We've got about 60 or 70 videos on YouTube. They can go to our website. They can read the book. But the key is to spread the word. We have no budget for marketing. We do no paid advertising. This is a grassroots, people-to-people movement, and it'll be that way for a long time. So if you would help us spread the word, if you would like our page on Facebook, if you will like our postings on Instagram, if you would retweet our tweets, our Twitter handle is MyDFree. My personal Twitter handle is DBSories. And either one, you can follow me, D-Free, or both. You follow me, I'll follow you back. And let's make sure that 2016 we pull it all together. We've been doing this for 10 years. We have a sense of what works now. We have a sense of who's serious. This is not something, as we used to say in church, for form or fashion. This is not something where we have a big staff, a big office. You know, Tamika, I was traveling somewhere and a person said, I tried to call your office and nobody called me back. I said, well, that can't be true because we have no office.
Right.
We have no full-time staff. We have no office. We're just people who are working hard to use what God has given us to help other people. Now, that could change, and it could change soon. But in the meantime, we need you. We need you to be our army. We need you to be our hands and our feet, and most importantly, we need you to be our prayer partners, because we believe that we've made it this far because of the prayers of the righteous, and next year we'll have a global impact. Opening an office in South Africa. In Ghana, we have a D-Free club. I just heard from Jamaica today. We have interest in Liberia. And so do we have interest in London, England? And Sanaya, I don't know. We probably will have to assign you to be our leader in London soon. But next year is going to be a great year. This is our last webinar of 2015. Thank all of you for your prayers and your support. And unless Ms. Tamika or Ms. Sanaya have anything to add, you pray for us tomorrow. We'll be in the studio all day from 10 a.m. until we're finished. And when we're finished, Sanaya will meet with the producer, pull together all of the content, and we'll be ready in January of 2016 to roll out the D-Free Academy online curriculum. All right. So thank you, ladies, for tonight. And we look forward to talking to you on tomorrow night. All right. God bless you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.